is Fraise Mowing. Justin was saying, Fraise Mowing, you were out Fraise Mowing a field the other day. Maybe it was you, Justin, who said that to me? Yeah. So we've been playing around with Fraise Mowing cool season grass. In fact, my graduate student who did that crabgrass project, the project was shaving off fairway and rough turf and determining how much of the crabgrass seed bank we could harvest. And we figured out that if we took off about 3/4 of an inch, we got about 97% of all the crabgrass seed that was ever deposited there in the last 15 years. I think they're finding similar things for POA in warm season grasses in the transition zone where guys are playing around with it. I think if you go down to the desert where Ross is down there and into Scottsdale, they're using it on their warm season grass fairways to shave them so they can cut back on the amount of top dressing they're doing. Instead of continually top dressing and building, every few years they're going in and harvesting it off and it grows right back. Now, I personally think what I've seen happen really effectively is if your organic matter gets out of control. We did a study at Saratoga National Golf Club where he had those back tees that everybody fertilizes and 3 guys play on 2 times a year, and they turn into trampolines. You all know what I'm talking about. I can't get you to stop fertilizing them. I don't know why we keep fertilizing that back tee that those 3 guys use 2 times a year, but we do. And then we got this huge organic matter, and what do? We do what we always do. We poke as many holes, throw as much sand, because that's what everybody tells us to do. We went in and Fraise mowed off the organic matter about a week after Labor Day. So it's prime time, right after the big, end of summer up in Saratoga. And then by the middle of October and certainly by early May, they had brand new bentgrass tees, less POA, nice and firm, no organic matter, one fell swoop. So I do think there's opportunity to use Fraise Mowing in conjunction with bentgrass management, even a light Fraise every once in a while, just to clean off that surface. The POA seeds rain down on there. Obviously, POA cure is going to be a significant part of everybody's arsenal, but good luck spending it on 50 acres, Ross. There you go, brother.
Right.
I got to get into the POA cure sales business. So Fraise Mowing and rolling was what I was ranting on there, Justin. Any other questions? How you guys doing?
Well, I appreciate it. That's great. Matter of fact, that's what I'm doing today. I'm up here at Soldier Hollow, not to plug, but we're actually going to do their driving range tee with the Fraise mower. It was interesting. We did an MLS team the other day, Real Salt Lake Stadium field, and I've got some pictures if anybody's interested, but just to see how clear the spots are where the POA was, and there was a lot. But to see how clear and it just got it by the root, it was pretty awesome compared to the desirable bluegrasses. So, but that's a topic for another.
But wait a minute. Let me ask you, since you brought it up, what's the follow-up treatment? So you Fraise off a ryegrass field. What kind of field was it?
Nope, blue, 100% blue.
All right, 100% Kentucky bluegrass. So you Fraise it off. Yep. You said you are sure you took off some of the POA. What's the follow-up treatment? You going with tenacity?
No, so he did tenacity beforehand to really stun it. So I mean, you can see it. They stood out. And then it weakened the plant, and then we hit. Now he will stay on a tenacity program. I had the opportunity to head to Harrogate for the Biga convention this year and spend some time with Richard Campy. And on his phrasing, really quick. He says the first year you're going to release 75% of your population of Poana. Second year, it's 85. Third year, it's between 95 and 97%. But like he told me, he says, Justin, you didn't get fat overnight, and you're not going to get skinny overnight. You still didn't get Poana overnight, and it's not going to get rid of it overnight. So, yes, they're going to do this. Did a pretty extensive blue overseed. They did some shockwave and did some other things. But it's actually going to be interesting to see because not a lot of people use it or have used it on the Kentucky bluegrass. So it's going to be fun to kind of watch this.
It terrifies people. When they see what you're doing, they just, whoa, what are you doing? You're ripping the grass off. And, I think you're right. I do think if you have had an older field or an older golf course that's had a lot of POA on it over the years, I would get on a rotation shaving off a reasonable amount of material on a regular basis, because every year we're learning that you get seed rain. So even if you clear up your fairways and a couple of passes around a golf course or on a sports field, for example, you're still going to get seed rain every year. So there may be a deep cut you might do every, to get every fairway started. And then maybe you go on a 3 fairway or a 6 fairway rotation every so many years. You do a thin skim at a time when, you can get away with it, when grass will grow a little bit and they don't mind playing on this. I saw just, again, it's warm season grasses, but I got to visit before we all locked down at the end of February. I got to visit Justin DePippo at Bel Air. And let me tell you, if there's a more beautiful golf course, you have to find it for me. That place is crazy beautiful. I'm a big, Australian golf fan, but that's a kind of golf course I could get used to. And he phrased his fairways and let his members play on it as it was growing back. And they were freaking out. He was getting calls in the middle of the night from Chris O'Donnell, the actor that's his greens chairman. What the hell did you do? These things are dead. And within 2 weeks, they were back. I think bluegrass under the right condition, bent grass under the right condition. How long? 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month? If you get optimum conditions, how long is it going to take to grow back, Justin?
Well, now that's interesting because it is so new in this territory. They've been doing it in the warm seasons. They've been relieving the annual rise. This is kind of new. Now, what he told me, this is solid sports turf. So this is playing conditions. He said it's a 4 to 6 weeks before you can have HD TV on there, and it plays perfect. So stay tuned. We're measuring the soil temps, the surface temps every couple days. It'll be interesting to see what he's got his seed rates, his pre and post fert. So stay tuned and see kind of what happens on this, but it'll be a fun little project.
Because, one of the things that my graduate student just studied was we took samples of the areas we tested, 50 or 100 soil cores, and then we sliced them at different layers, right? We took that material at the different layers of the different samples in the different areas, and then planted it in a greenhouse on a potting mix and kept it wet and watched the weed seeds germinate. And we counted weed seed germination. Now, in our case, it was a crabgrass dominated seed bank. And so we could see, well, once you get below 3/4 of an inch, yeah, you're done. There's very little crabgrass left there. I will tell you something. I hope there's no sod growers on here. I'm going to get myself in trouble. I'm almost positive that the crabgrass at Vineyard Golf Club came on sod and continues to come on sod with annual seed rain. Even though they're using chemicals that are preventing their emergence, if those weed seeds rain down at the end of the year, the pre-emergent herbicide's not going to necessarily control them. They're not usually putting on a pre-emergent before they ship it to you. So there's a lot of crabgrass seed in there. And because we don't use chemicals out in the Vineyard Golf Club, we've gotten to see the contribution from the imported sod that we brought out there. So just FYI, kill the grass on your sod and see what grows. That's an easy little test.
I just got a text.